this.
Good morning. You guys take 60 All-American students in your school? I'd like to attend. But I had a question for you. You said that you mediate between problems between teachers and students. What kind of problems do you mediate, and just how does that work?
See, every event we try to hold, there's something that the teachers want and there is something that the students want. And to get a consensus, that is our job. And every time we are fighting it out with the students and then trying to show a softer side towards the teachers and trying to convey our demands and getting what the students want. So the end result is we want the students to be happy on one side and the teachers to be equally satisfied. So that is our job. Like recently we have this Children's Day. We want to get some music, some dancing on the floor, but we have been having some complaints, some limitations, some constraints. But still, the students are really unhappy about. We have approximately 100 students coming to each of us and saying, "Bhaiya, are we having the Children's Day this year? Are we having the DJ this year?" And we have nothing to answer. And right from the beginning of this day, we have been holding meetings with our principal, with the vice principals. We've been trying to just satisfy them, convince them that please let us have some music, and finally they've allowed for it. So that's what our job is.
You use persuasion?
Persuasion.
Yes, I didn't hear you say that you fight it out with the teachers.
To fight it out with the students.
I have a question for all of you. How many of you intend, after you graduate from here, to come to the United States to go to the university? Thank you very much. I'm just interested. About 50%, it looks like.
You're very impressive. Two questions. One, what motivates you? And what are your perceptions of American students?
So beginning with our motivation, as a student enters this school, this is basically a senior school, relatively, and it begins from the 6th grade. The environment we get here, as soon as we step into this institution, it's, to be honest, it's a little overwhelming when we see that every one of our seniors, I'm talking of a personal case, as I step into school, I see every senior of mine just following his or her own talent. There is this required stipulated academics which you need to follow. But the restriction here is minimal. What I mean to say is, we're just allowed to follow what we want. Like a debater is excelling, like the consummate speakers, and they're improving by the day. They win every competition they go to. It's not only about winning, it's just a celebration of excellence, the whole institution. So as we grow up over these 7 years, I've only had one motivation to become one of them and to emulate them and to do whatever, anything I have an interest in, mathematics, public speaking. I just follow it with the relevant department, and that's what makes all of us like. That's why I think this school has a benchmark in not only Delhi but India for its leadership roles. That's what motivates us.
Along with our seniors, I would just like to add that our teachers, our principal, they're all a source of motivation. They're pillars of support. They encourage us to pursue whatever we're good at. And like our former principal, Mrs. Chona, and now Dr. Saini, they just tell us to go for it and do what we're good at and excel at whatever we're doing.
In addition to that, we've been given so much that the spirit of returning something in whatever measure we can motivates us to do our bit for the school. We've been encouraged, we've been inculcated with the leadership qualities. That does not make us a part of the group, but we lead that crowd. That's what motivates.
I'd just like to answer the second question. Well, personally, I have visited the US and I've been on a lot of college visits there. What I feel about American people is, I can actually just classify it. For one thing, I feel that they are very friendly. I mean, in India, that's something that you might see at times, you might not see at times. However, when I went to the US, I personally felt that in general, American people were very friendly. Now, when I went to college visits, obviously I saw amazingly intelligent students, and what I felt was unique about them was how interested they were in their subject and how they just dedicate themselves completely to it. For instance, I went to Stanford and I met students there who would stay up all night researching simply because they wanted to, not because they had project deadlines or because they had to submit work, but just because they were interested in the subject.
Adding on to that, what makes me want to go to the US for further education is that in this school, we've been given immense opportunities and so much of flexibility. The system itself is flexible in school level. For example, I am a humanities student who has biology, which is not a said and done thing in university in India. I want a liberal arts education where I can choose from diverse streams what I want to take and what I want to study. That is available in liberal arts universities in the United States, and that's what makes me want to go there and study.
I interacted with American students at a different forum. It was at a conference, and that is where I found this one aspect unique to them, that they do not hesitate to question authority, which is something that politely though, and they do it in a very subtle, polite manner, but they don't hesitate to voice their opinions and speak their mind, which I think is important for anybody to do, and that's something that's that I've noticed is unique to this school as well. And I speak from personal experience. I shifted to the school in the 9th. This was 4 years back, and this is one school where people actually want to give credit to talent, and they encourage it, they nurture it. And something like the performing arts is probably a field that is not viewed as a very stable one in India, but this is one school where you despite they will encourage you to nurture it, and and they motivate you to pursue it further if you're good at it, and they just encourage you to pursue it if you love it and if you're good at it.